My beloved brothers and sisters, when Allah takes something away from you, it's not always a sign of rejection. Many times it is a sign of redirection, an act of mercy that we only understand later. When life feels like it's slipping out of your hands, when the things you held close suddenly break away, the heart immediately thinks, "Oh, why is this happening to me?" But what if the very thing that hurts you today is the thing that will save you tomorrow? What if the path you are crying over was never meant to carry you to where Allah wants you to be? Allah, in His infinite wisdom, often removes people, opportunities, and comforts from your life because He knows what you do not know. You see the moment, but Allah sees the future. You see the loss, but Allah sees the protection behind it. You see the disappointment, but Allah sees something far better waiting for you. Sometimes what you call a setback is actually a setup for a greater plan. And what you call a heartbreak is actually Allah redirecting your heart towards something purer, safer, and filled with more blessings. Think of the times you begged Allah for something you thought was perfect for you. You cried for it, hoped for it, believed it was the best thing you could ever have. And then Allah didn't give it. At that moment, you felt ignored, maybe even unloved. But months later, years later, you realized that if you had received that thing, it would have broken you, destroyed you, or taken you away from Allah. So what you thought was rejection was actually deep, divine protection. Allah's redirection is often silent. It comes in moments when your plans fail, when your heart hurts, when relationships end, when doors suddenly close with no explanation. But behind every no from Allah is a much greater yes, waiting at the right time. He withholds only to give better. He delays only to prepare you. Redo. He takes away only to replace it with something more beautiful. Something that aligns not just with your desires, but with your soul, your purpose, and your akura. When you trust that Allah is redirecting you, your heart becomes softer in hardship. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you begin to ask, "Ya Allah, where are you taking me? What beautiful path are you opening for me next?" That trust becomes a light in your chest that guides you, even when everything around you feels dark. You start to see problems differently. You start to see pain differently. You start to see every closed door as a sign that Allah is leading you to a better one. So never think that losing something means Allah has abandoned you. Never think that failure means Allah is displeased with you. Sometimes the greatest mercy is when Allah says no to the things that you were ready to destroy yourself for. And sometimes the greatest blessing is when Allah redirects your entire life to protect your heart, your faith, and your destiny. When life breaks you, when the weight of sadness presses on your chest, and you feel like your heart can't carry another disappointment, something powerful happens inside you. Soul begins to turn back to Allah in a way it never did before. Hardships have a way of waking the heart, of shaking it until it remembers the one who created it. When everything around you feels empty, you naturally look upward. You make dua with a sincerity you never had in moments of ease. You cry in sujood with a depth you didn't know existed. The pain pushes you toward the only place where true comfort lives, your connection with Allah. At times, Allah allows the world to push you to your knees because He knows that this is the closest place you can be to Him. When you're broken, your heart is soft, your ego melts, your pride disappears. And suddenly, even the smallest dua becomes meaningful. You start talking to Allah more. You start relying on Him more. You start realizing that all this time, you were holding on to people too tightly and holding on to Allah too lightly. Hardship flips that completely. It reminds you who truly holds your heart. Think about the moments in your life when everything was going well. How often did you forget to make dua? How often did you delay your salah or rush through it? How often did you think that your strength, your plans, your intelligence were enough? But then, when life shattered, when things slipped out of your hands, you discovered a truth you had ignored. None of it is in your control. The moment that realization hits, you fall into saga not out of habit, but out of need. You feel your soul begging, "Ya Allah, I have no one but you." And this is where the beauty of hardship appears. It transforms you. It polishes your heart. It breaks the attachment you had to this world and rebuilds your attachment to Allah. Tears that fall in pain often become the tears that wash away sins. Sleepless nights become moments of whispered dua. Loneliness becomes a quiet meeting with Allah. What looked like destruction is actually purification. Many people say, "I found Allah when I lost everything." Because when you lose everything that was distracting you, you finally hear the call of your Lord clearly. The noise of dunya fades and the voice of your heart becomes louder. You start to feel a closeness with Allah that you never tasted before. You begin to rely on His mercy, trust His timing, and surrender to His wisdom. That is the spiritual gift hidden inside every trial. So yes, broken moments bring you closer to Allah in a way comfort never can. Hardship softens your soul and guides you back to the one who has always been with you, always listened, always cared. And when you come out of that darkness, you realize the truth. The pain wasn't a punishment. It was a path back to your Creator, the most loving, the most merciful. There are moments in life when your plans feel perfect, your dreams feel clear, and your steps feel strong, yet suddenly nothing goes the way you expected. You try to move forward, but doors close. You try to hold on, but things slip away. You try to build, but everything collapses in your hands. In those moments, it's tempting to think, oh, why is this happening? Why is Allah making things so hard for me? But the truth is far deeper and far more beautiful. Allah's plan is always greater than your plans. And sometimes that greatness is hidden behind confusion, delay, and disappointment. We plan with limited knowledge. Allah plans with complete knowledge of the past, the present, and every second of your future. You see only a moment. Allah sees your entire lifetime and your akhirah. You see one chapter. Allah sees the entire book. You think something is good for you because it feels right now, but Allah knows how it will affect your heart, your faith, your character, your future, and even your final destination. His plan is built on wisdom beyond anything you could ever imagine. There are times when Allah withholds something from you because He knows it would damage you in ways you can't see yet. You might think that job would change your life, but Allah knows it would harm your deen. You might believe that person is your destiny, but Allah sees a heartbreak you're blind to. You might want a path so badly, but Allah knows it leads to a dead end. When He protects you from something, it's out of love, even if it doesn't feel like love in the moment. When everything feels slow, paused, or blocked, many people think Allah is not answering their prayers. But sometimes the delay is the answer. Sometimes Allah is preparing you, strengthening you, teaching you patience, building your character, or clearing the path before He gives you what you asked for. If Allah gave you certain blessings too early, you might not know how to handle them. If He gave you certain people too soon, you might lose them. If He opened certain doors at the wrong time, you might walk through unprepared. Allah's timing is not just perfect, it's protective. Think of how many times in life you desperately wanted something, only to realize later that not getting it was the biggest mercy. Think of the days you cried for something you thought was your whole world, and today you thank Allah for keeping it away from you. This is proof that His plan works, even when yours doesn't. Trusting Allah's plan doesn't mean you will always understand it. It means you choose belief over doubt, patience over panic, hope over fear. It means you tell your heart, if Allah didn't allow it, there must be goodness in that. It means you remind yourself that the one who wrote your destiny is the most loving, the most wise. So when life doesn't go your way, don't assume Allah is denying you. Believe that He is guiding you. Don't cry over the path that closed. Thank Allah for the path that's opening. Don't cling to what your heart desires. Cling to the one who controls hearts. Because at the end of every hardship, every delay, and every unanswered question, there is a divine truth waiting for you. Allah's plan was not just better, it was perfect.